Oh, guys. Hello, guys. Flatboys here. So, two announcements for the Witcher Netflix TV show that's in development at the moment. And so, of course, we've got. It depends. Is this good news or bad news? First, we've got our Geralt. We've got our Geralt of Rivia, the White Wolf, has been cast. Henry Cavill, Superman. I've seen some people like excited, like, oh, they can't take the Superman fanboy goggles off, and they're like, yeah, Superman is playing Geralt. I got mixed reactions, like myself. Like when I told my wife, and she was like, oh, like she was really pissed off. She was really, she was really pissed off. She was She said, "Oh, Henry Cavill is a typical, like, he's a jock type guy, and does it suit? It doesn't suit Geralt. It doesn't fit the character." And so the thing is that Henry Cavill has said that he's a big fan of the Witcher series. He loves all the games. Like, there's an interview of him with IGN, I think it was, when he was promoting a movie, and he said, "Oh yeah, I love the games. Really love them. I replay them every now and again." He goes, "I'm also a big fan of the book." He asked the interviewer, "Have you read the book?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, you should read the book. It's a fantastic book." I unfortunately have only played The Witcher 2. I haven't played Witcher 3. I haven't read the book, which I'd love to. So yeah, that's the mixed reactions. It's someone that's passionate and has big knowledge about the character and the Witcher as a whole, like the universe, the lore, and the characters. You've got someone that's passionate about the source material, so that's a plus. But then I'm kind of seeing like the negative, like, are they just riding off of the hype and success train of Superman? Like, does it feel like it's just a shallow casting choice? Like, oh, let's just pick Henry Cavill because he's big right now. So that's why I'm mixed. Like, they should have gone with a European actor. Like, there's loads of people suggesting some cool ideas, like Mads Mikkelsen. I'm a big fan of Mads Mikkelsen. Like, when he was in Hannibal, he's got that charisma. There's that sort of charming, there's an intrigue about him, especially when he was in Hannibal. Really fantastic in that. And so yeah, there's a certain charm and charisma about him, and that's because Geralt and other Witchers, because of their mutation, they don't have any emotions. They can't have emotions. But when I was playing Witcher 2, and like from little clips I've seen of The Witcher 3, like I saw a clip of him and Yennefer, his sort of one of his lovers. He's like, you look beautiful this evening," and she's like, "We're at a funeral," and he goes, "You look beautiful at this funeral." Like he's such a, like, with a shit-eating grin. And Doug Cockle, who does, I think that's how you say his name, Doug Cockle, well, the guy who does the voice for the Witcher games, does a really fantastic job of having that sort of sassiness that Geralt has. So it's a plus and a minus, like, depending on how you see it, with Henry Cavill being cast. Does it feel like it's a shallow casting choice because he's big right now? But the plus is that he will hopefully gives a lot of throughout the filming process. I hope he has not necessarily some creative control, but I hope that he steers the directors and writers into, well, look, I've played the games and I feel this is how Geralt would be in this situation, or this is how he would behave in such and such manner. Yeah, so we've got that plus with Henry Cavill, that is someone who's passionate about the franchise, the lore, the universe, and the characters. And then we've got this negative. I just can't. So the casting call for Ciri, who's a character in The Witcher 3. I don't really know much about Ciri. I know, is she a female Witcher? Correct me in the comment section. Like I said, I've not played Witcher 3. So I can't comment really who she is. But she is a pale... Apparently, even in the books, she's described as having ashen hair. She literally has, like, well, not platinum, but it's literally, like, white as snow, white hair. And she's got described as having pale as snow skin with green eyes. So the casting call for the show has the description clearly states they're looking for a BAME, a BAME. They're looking for a black, Asian, minority or ethnic teenager who is around 15 to 16 years old and must not be older than 18. The role calls for someone who can play down to 13 or 14 years of age. And so information was for the role was posted up over on the National Youth Theatre website for auditions. It clearly states that for the role of Cirilla, the lion cub of Sintra, they're looking for a BAME girl. Resilient, relentless, brazen, growing. So that's what the description of the character. People aren't having it. People were really cheesed off. Like, I was seeing tweets about it, and then there's this article on One Angry Gamer. I think Niche Gamer has done an article on it. Like, why race swap? Why? When fans found out about the race swapping for the role of Ciri, they took frustrations online to Lauren Schmidt-Hisrich, the showrunner. She responded by saying that she couldn't comment on the casting for the show. You guys, you know I don't comment on casting, and I never have and never will, except one very special lady who I saw several options for today, and has got an emoji, heart, horse's heart. So what, someone that loves horses, I don't know, is good at riding horses. This did not sit well with fans of the original book series or CD Projekt Red's games, where Ciri is depicted as pale as snow, with frost-touched hair and passionate emerald eyes. People saying you've just killed the hype for the show by 99% of the people who were going to watch this show. Good job. I'll stick to the books and games. This is set in sort of medieval Europe. Well, it's Polish. It's set within Polish lore and mythology. There's people saying, if you intend to make a character from a specific area of Europe at a specific time, the colour of the skin is one of the things that defines the characters, and not only to that character but to others. Look at it this way: if the story were to happen in Asia, in a fantastic China, I don't know if he means fantasy China, everyone would find it strange that the protagonist was a white girl with green eyes. It's funny, how people complain about whitewashing and it feels like they're trying to be progressive for the sake of it, pushing the forced diversity quota agenda. Could you just try to make a good show without forcing the diversity agenda into it like a hack? If you want to add colour, create new characters. Don't just paint over the existing ones. Exactly, like it's already established characters. People wouldn't like it if... Please talk to who's in charge of casting and stop the BSPC. Can't believe you're butchering the story, making Ciri non-white. Why don't we just make Black Panther 2 with a white dude? And there's even a hashtag coming out, hashtag no BAME Ciri. Apparently even on the Witcher subreddit, and there's someone that's even pointing stuff out I understand what whitewashing is. I understand that it's a problem. I understand that Lauren is super anti-racist and progressive. But as a poll, I also am discriminated. I'm being judged because of the stereotypes. I have nothing to do with the American slavery. You can even check the etymology of the term Slav. That's why I don't understand why you are pushing this diversity agenda. I just want the same respect the black man get. If we would live in a world where The Witcher was written by someone from Africa, everyone from the main cast was black, and suddenly there is a TV series in the making where one of the characters is white for no reason, it would be instantly labelled as racist. Exactly. Why not? I remember when The Witcher 3 came out and people were reeing about how come there's no black people in here? I'm like, well, it's just the same as Game of Thrones. Like Westeros, like the sort of king, like there's kingdoms and there's several islands and several other continents and other places that are beyond the veil, so to speak, in Game of Thrones. I mean, the Dothraki, they're, what is it, sort of Moroccan type. There was all the different cities in Game of Thrones where it was sort of, well, I think it was even filmed in Morocco or somewhere like that. And, you know, Turkey and those sort of... There is black people in Game of Thrones. And the same in The Witcher. You know, some of these distant lands, that is where predominantly those people... Because it's based off of Polish mythology and Polish history. Even blacks didn't seem to like this casting decision. Subreddit blackfellas. I mean, it's creative parasitism. See, this guy was saying, noting that this wasn't something worth looking forward to because people of colour should be creating their own media instead of trying to leech on to the creations of others. With someone saying, personally, I am tired with black people being so desperate to be included in others' worlds, and this goes beyond The Witcher. They don't want you or us. If they did, they would play it like the likes of BioWare and create black, queer, etc. characters. Now let's create content and or support people who do, instead of begging for scraps, which for me is begging for having existing characters race to black. And you know, if any change there is, the character will be more on the Zendaya side of things. I mean, look here, there's other girl made a comment. As a black woman who loves the Witcher, hell the fuck no. Ciri is white. It makes no fucking sense in changing her skin colour. The Witcher world is based in on Poland. Why the fuck is there a diverse cast? For fuck's sake, you don't need black and Asian people in everything. Especially if the historical region it's based off of was not diverse. Next thing you know, they'll make a Shaka Zulu series with ethnically diverse Zulu people. Like, it's blatantly transparent what they're doing. They're being... Presumably these showrunners hate that the game is predominantly white. Just like how with the game Kingdom Come Deliverance, they complained there's no black people in that because it was set in 14th century Bohemia. But yeah, that's that. I mean, I hope that the author of the book at least becomes like a consultant or something. I mean, it's so funny, like with people like they always pick and choose long-haired actors, like with when they were going for the casting of Geralt. They're like, oh, why not Sebastian Stan, who played Winter Soldier? Like, what? Just because he's got long hair? He's too young, and he's too young in the face. Although he'd make a good Dandelion. He'd play Dandelion pretty well. So yeah, I want to hear what you guys have to think of this. What do you think of Henry Cavill being cast as Geralt of Rivia? And what do you think of this casting decision of trying to cast Ciri as a POC? Yeah, leave all your comments down below. Tell me what you think of this and the whole diversity agenda. Yeah, this gonna be good. Anyway, I'll catch you in the next video.
Let's get going then.
What?